Okay, good. This is me. Oh, hey. Hey, everyone. Oh, my God, I can't believe I'm sitting here with Jesse Orosco. This is crazy. Keith every year makes it better for me. Thank you, Keith. By the way, Keith Blacknick, puts this thing together. Jesse, you'll appreciate this. I recruited him for my bar softball team this year, and he proceeded to get up to the plate the first time and smack a line drive single. Keith Blacknick, and pretty impressive. I went 0 for 4, but it's okay. Anyway, you guys know I work at Spectrum News New York 1. I'm a Queens native. I grew up on the border of Rego Park and Forest Hills. Long fly ball, not fake news, thank you. Long fly ball from Shea Stadium, where I spent a lot of time. $2 for the upper deck. Remember that? Anyone? It was $2 when you were pitching in 1979 that first time.
A little while ago.
Guys, I just want to talk a little bit about Jesse's. So get this is crazy. Jesse holds some amazing records. Most career pitching appearances, 1,252. Most relief appearances, 1,242. He pitched for 24 seasons for 9 teams. 2-time All-Star with the Mets, 83 and 84. Career record of 87 and 80. 3.16 career ERA, 144 saves, 1,179 strikeouts, and get this, one of only 31 players in the entire history of Major League Baseball to have appeared and played games in 4 decades. So once again, I want to introduce the great Jesse Orosco. So Jesse, I want to go back in time. It's 1979, and you're not thinking that you're going to get called up to the big club, but you do in spring training, and you are asked to be there for opening day at Wrigley Field in 1979. It's 17 degrees. Talk about that experience.
It's 17 degrees right now, too.
I know, it's actually it's not pretty close, but there was an interesting story. So you were, obviously you're from Santa Barbara, California, so you're used to a little bit warmer weather. Then you're down at that time, right? It was St. Pete for spring training.
Correct.
So also warm. And then you're in Chicago at 17 degrees. So you stayed as close to the heater in the dugout as possible.
Yes, I'll tell you what. Being the first time playing in something like that was a wake-up call. But that night, that day, I won't forget because it was so cold that I was sitting in the dugout and it was getting warm in there because we had the heaters on. And lo and behold, I got a little too close to that heater, kind of burned my socks. And so it started from there.
Right, but eventually you got into the game. And guys, you're not going to believe this, and you may know this story, but you get into the game. Joe Torre, the manager, Rube Walker was still the pitching coach. Remember Rube Walker, the great Mets pitching coach. And your first batter you pitched to was a guy named Bill Buckner. What was that like? I mean, he was we think of him from '86, obviously, which we'll get to soon. But at that time, Bill Buckner was one of the best hitters in Major League Baseball.
Oh, by far. I had a chance to play against him at times, and he was always just a credit to his team. He played the game hard. He worked hard at it. Lo and behold, that what happened later on in his life, but he was a great guy and good competitor. And you got him to pop up, which was great. Yeah. And then I think Torre had you in his office and said something like, "Didn't you know you were going to get out there today?" Well, that ball, the ball that I hit, and it started going toward the fence. It looked like a pop up when I hit it. Yeah. And the wind just kept taking it, and it came right to the end of the fence. I got lucky in that. They're like, wow, these ballparks got small all of a sudden. Yeah. So and so you get back up to the big leagues in '81, and then you were in some pretty lean years for the Mets. I mean, I think a lot of us experienced those years. Heading out to Shea Stadium, not a lot of people there. What was it? So that must have been tough at that time as a young ball player to
to keep going strong when the team was losing so much?
Yeah. It was, just getting started. I was really looking at what I needed to do and get the sights on stuff like that. But I had good teammates and everything to help me get started in my career, and so that's what really made me work harder.
And you crossed paths with Seaver when he came back, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. What was that like? Because he's my, I don't know, Tom Seaver fans out there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He
was, I thought so much great of him. He helped me out too. He came down in the bullpen, like in spring training and things like that, and he helped me out and kind of gave me a little thing to work about, and so it was great. Tom Seaver was a nice man and a great, unbelievable pitcher.
Still so crazy that he was in the dugout for the other team at '86, which a lot of people forget about, which is so bizarre. And he was injured and he get it to play, but I'm sure you were looking over there and be like, "Wow, Tom Seaver's on the Red Sox. That doesn't make any sense, right?"
I was excited when he came over to us, especially he was walking across the field, getting ready for his first game with the Mets, and so I was in awe at this guy. So,
yeah, it was really something.
Yeah.
It was something. So yeah, you proceeded to really start. I know at the beginning you did some starting too, but you basically told them, listen, you're getting kind of gassed after 4 or 5 innings. You're like, you know what, I'm a reliever. That's it. And that was the rest is history, right?
Well, those 4 games, they put me out there, and they said we're gonna have you start, be a starter. So pitched my first game, I get beat up bad. Second game, beat up bad. 4th game, bad. Next thing I know, they're like, Jesse, you are getting ready to go to another position. So I was in trouble then.
All right, let's get to the good part, because obviously 1986 is such a big year for us. Do you ever get sick of talking about it?
Never,
right? That's good. I'm glad, because I have a lot of questions, and I think these guys do too. So let's talk about, first of all, the season itself, because from what I understand and from the books I've read and from hearing interviews with some of your teammates from that, like, you guys knew in spring training, like, we're good. We're a good team.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did it. I mean, we had an amazing team. Guys that can fill each other's spots. We can move them around. We played the game very, very, very aggressive. What we want to do is make ourselves a good team. So it was an easy thing to do for us, really, to just get on the field and show what we can do. And so that was a great part about all of that.
But one thing about that team, you were so good though that, and I think we all know those guys. And we like them. But you always like that team because if you're a fan of but people hated you guys. The other teams did not like it. You guys were considered cocky. You considered obnoxious, partiers, but you just won. And won. What was that like? You guys probably didn't care, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. We knew what we had.
Yeah.
And then anything above that was other teams, how they looked at us, and we were ready for a challenge. That was a good thing. This whole team, that Davey put together, and he stayed right on top of everybody. The players worked well together, so it just made it a lot easier.
Yeah. And you mentioned Davey Johnson. Obviously, we lost him this past year. Talk about your relationship with him and experience. And obviously, such a great manager, so much success as a player. And then, was his success as a player? Did that help you guys to have that more respect for him as a manager, or knowing that he had been such a good ball player for the Orioles?
Well, Davey was a very mild man. He was like, he didn't jump on things like that. He just knew what he needed to do. He would depend on us too, saying like, I've got the right guys. I'm gonna be okay. I'll just lead them to what we're gonna do. He made everything so much easier for us.
So let's talk about, so at any point, it was World Series or bust, right? I mean, is that basically, was that the idea in the clubhouse that like, listen, we're taking this whole thing? Right?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we were ready. I mean, nothing else we needed to do. Just make sure that, everybody's in their position, everybody's there on time for everything, so we were ready. After what happened, a couple years before that, it kind of fueled us. It fueled us and got us going, so that's what made it all easier.
Right, because the Cardinals were a real thorn in your side in the division, right? So you're like, Whitey Herzog, obviously. So you're probably thinking like, we just have to overcome that one team, and we're good. And you were able to do that and very impressively. So let's go to the NLCS against the Astros, guys, because probably one of the classic, arguably one of the best NLCS in the history of having it. Against the Houston Astros, the team formerly known as the National League Houston Astros, right now the American League. You won 3 games as a reliever, and that's unprecedented. That's unbelievable. So you got into these situations where you wound up being the winning pitcher as a reliever, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, it was a great series. Houston had an excellent team, and the kind of team they had was guys that can just run, do everything, do all the good things. And so we had to look at our side against them. And so that's what made it such a good series, and we had a really good team. So we were ready to go on that.
Now that game 6 was ridiculous. I remember, this is crazy. I still remember where I was because I was at college still. I wasn't here back in Queens. I was up at college at Syracuse. I had a work study job on the loading dock of the school bookstore. And I was listening on a transistor radio in this loading dock in Syracuse, New York, dying because I couldn't see it. I was like, and it just kept going another inning and another inning and another inning. And I know you got into the game. You were the mound for the final pitch of the game of the clincher. But in game 6, you were in it, I think around the 9th inning, right? You did get into the game. And yeah. So what was that like? I mean, what were you guys thinking? Because I know that the story is that you didn't. And you can tell me if this is true or not. You didn't want to face Mike Scott in Game 7.
Correct.
Yeah.
The guy had a great year, and so we had to make our plan because we knew that he was going to pitch in most of the games, and so we divided our team, talked about it. We knew that this guy was going to be the guy that if they have a chance, he's going to take us over. But our team just didn't care. We didn't care. They had such a good team of guys. They had some guys that just hit the ball through the hole, do things like that. So they played the game pretty good and knew what they're doing. But we kept standing our ground. That's the big thing.
And you knew Scott from when he was on the Mets, right?
Yeah. We were teammates.
And he was okay, but he wasn't that. He was clearly the thought was that he might have been doing a little something to the ball.
Yeah, I heard something about that. Yeah, there you go.
I know. I'm sorry. I had to bring it up.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. So you're on the mound. You get the final out in Game 6. To get, which is pretty cool. You were there for the final out for that and for the final out of the World Series, which we'll get to in a moment. So you get to the World Series in 1986 against the Boston Red Sox, and I'm guessing you guys are thinking, were you exhausted after that? Obviously after a 16-inning game, you guys must have been exhausted though.
Yeah. I mean, the further you get on something, you have to look hard at it. And so it was. We knew what we had to go through, and they're a very, very amazing team. So we gave our best. They did that, and just it was just fight it out.
So the Red Sox series happens, and at any point did you feel like in the Red Sox series that when you were down that maybe we don't have it, maybe these guys are better, or I always feel like the attitude is like no one's going to make the last out,
right? Yeah.
No one's going to give up that home run. Right? Yeah.
No, our guys did not even look at anything like that. You know, you see Roger Clemens, you know, amazing pitcher, and our batters were going after him. It didn't matter. It's, you know, they were bulldogs, and so that's what you know we fueled ourselves on.
Yeah. Can I mention some names and give me your first reaction? You know, Keith Hernandez. I actually, it's funny. I was watching. There's a classic video. You guys know the one where he makes that ridiculous play on a bunt against the Reds, and I realized Jesse was pitching at that time. Do you remember that?
I don't.
Oh, yeah, yeah. He was playing in for the bunt, and he grabbed it almost on the third base side. I mean, this ridiculous. Right? I mean, it's if you watch the video, it's one of these days watch it again. But I never noticed that Jesse was on the mound. What was it like playing with Keith Hernandez? Because we know him as a broadcaster now, and he's very beloved. But he was a hard-nosed player.
Oh, he definitely did. The guy knew the game like he wouldn't believe. He can do anything out there. He was I would say probably one of the best first basemen I've ever seen in my career.
Wow.
I mean,
agreed.
I mean that this guy can do everything, and you guys have seen that, you know, in our lifetime that we've gone through all this. But he was good, and you know, he was like a cat. He was like a captain to us.
Gary Carter, your catcher.
What can you say about Gary? He was a phenomenal baseball player. And he really enjoyed what he did. You could see it. I mean, you know, they used to call him all these different names, Cameron Carter, but he was I think it was one of the best guys I've ever seen, you know, to get on the field and you know, work with his team.
Right, he was a little more laid back, like on the plane rides, right? He was the guy who was kind of chill out in the back. You got not necessarily the party guy, but when he got on the field, he meant business.
Oh yeah, I tell you,
yeah.
all he wanted to do was cover home plate. Anything that's coming back. So that was a good thing about Gary.
You got to see the rise of Doc Gooden as a pitcher, and as a pitcher, what was that like seeing when you first started seeing him, and you kind of knew there was something special going on there, right?
Yeah, well, I thought I was going to be out of baseball.
He looked like a reliever now.
No, but no, he was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doc was, he was special. I mean, this guy, you could already see it in his stature. The guy was tall and knew how to move the ball around. So that was a good guy to have.
And he also got to see the rise of Darryl Strawberry as well, who was
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those moonshots that he would hit, and that swing was so beautiful. And what was it like witnessing that? Did you know right away? You're like, wow, this guy's gonna cause some trouble, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, Davey knew what to do as far as how to set up everybody, but our guys, you know, like Doc and these guys, knew what to do on the mound, and so everybody knew their position. Everybody went after what they needed to do. So it was pure fun.
All right, what's the inevitable, right, guys? We have to talk about Game 6 of 1986 World Series against the Boston Red Sox. You did have 2 saves in that series, and so what's going on there? Like, I can't even imagine. I mean, you know, I played recreational softball. I can't even imagine, right? Like, what do I know? What was the feeling in the dugout when you're like, are we going to lose? Or was everybody like, no, there's no way we're giving – because I've heard stories about, I don't want to use a bad word, that Hernandez said something like, I am not getting the last effing out of this game. And almost everybody had that same attitude.
I think it's hard to say.
Yeah. I mean, was there a feeling that – was there ever a moment of dejection, like, wow, maybe we're done?
I didn't feel anything like that.
Yeah.
Our team was looking forward. We knew what we were coming after, and it's one of those things where who's going to win it? That's all it was. Because I mean, they had some Cy Young winners on their side. They had some other type of players. We had our kind of players, so it was we knew it was going to be a battle.
When you see that ball go through Buckner's legs, what's going through your mind?
Oh my God!
I mean, I've always wanted to ask Jesse Orosco this. It's like a dream, so it's cool.
Yes, that changed everything. That changed history right there for our New York Mets finally got there and did it. So that was a great part about it.
Right, you got to the, yeah. I mean, and yeah, like you said before, we talked about Bill Buckner, and there's a certain amount of sympathy for, you know, aging ball player. Maybe shouldn't have been in the game at that point. They maybe should have replaced him with someone, a younger player who's going to be a defensive, more defensive, better defense. But yeah, it's tough, right?
Yeah, and Bill Buckner, I mean, he had a lot of great years, and I think just the managers just wanted to stay with him and see.
Right, experience. And, yeah. All right, here we go. Game 7. And a lot of people, I think we all forget. I mean, maybe we don't forget, but, Game 7 wasn't a short thing either, right? We were down. And again, you guys are up against the wall. But that team, that team just seemed to flourish in that situation, being up against the wall. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen that many teams that are able to. So was there? You got a chance to get into the game to make the final outs, and obviously you're a competitor, so you wanted that. But what was going through your mind for that one? I mean, I wouldn't be. I mean, I'm guessing that you were like, let's end this, please. We'll just win this thing, right?
Well, I mean, it was everybody. It was like back and forth.
Yeah.
So I mean, everything was going on pretty fast. I just remember my only thing I had going for me there was I hit a baseball right down the middle of the.
Yeah, he got a hit in that game. Anyone remember that? Yeah. Well, you got the bunt sign and then you did the butcher boy. Yeah.
And it bounced about 25 times down the middle, and I'm like, please, thank you for doing that for me.
Right. Well, and that wouldn't happen today, clearly, with the DH.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool to get a World Series hit. All right, the last pitch. I think all of us have it. Like we could see the moment in our heads. You could see the picture. But when you just now, here's the big question: the glove.
It's still up there. Yeah, that was I didn't imagine that happening, but I had friends say, "What are you going to do if you throw the last pitch?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I'm not even thinking about that right now." It's a scary moment, but it worked out really good.
And then the rest is history, right? Yeah. I mean, it must be great to be attacked. For all. I mean, sadly, that was the last time we won the World Series, right? Which kind of stinks. But you and the guys are attached to that. How great is it to be attached to that moment?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I think about this team all the time. Think about everybody here that's always, been supportive to myself, and it's a great organization. And that's being the Met forever. So I'm glad to be such a big part of all this, and seeing all the fans and everything come back. And so it's been great.
We appreciate everything you did. And you went on to pitch for many, many more years. I mean, you pitched till you were like, what, 46 years old? Your number was 47. You almost got to your number, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I almost forgot about this one. You won 2 games in one day in a doubleheader in 1983.
Yeah.
Which it was Banner Day. You guys remember? I actually remember Banner Day. They should do that again. That was fun. I remember making a banner when I was a kid. It said, "You've got to believe again." But it was 79, and it was going to be another 6 years before we could believe it. Anyway, the Pirates. You played the Pirates, and the Mets won somehow in 1983 on 2 walk-off wins, and you got the win in both games. It must have been fun, but you also probably pretty exhausted at the end of that. So guys. Who has questions for Jesse Orosco? I think I've talked enough. I feel I talk a lot from Queens, right?
Yeah, all right. Who's got questions? I'm gonna walk over Dave. I'm gonna go all the way over there. You got the '86 jersey on, so why not?
It's appropriate. Yeah.
Good morning, Jesse. Good morning, Roger.
Hey.
One of the questions. Why was it in the '86 playoffs, NLCS? Why did the Mets have home field advantage, having 108 wins? Because I don't remember them rotating back then Do you recall why you guys didn't have home field advantage?
I don't recall it, I'm sorry.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
And the second question is, I don't know if you still watch, but someone that you came out and pitched back-to-back days, sometimes 2 innings. What's your opinion now how they baby these relievers and what you're doing, how they manage bullpens nowadays? Thank you.
Yeah, they, it's hard to say.
Yeah, I mean, you would have had a problem going out and pitching 3, 4, 5 innings. You wouldn't even have thought about it. But now it's like everything's so calculated, and you know,
The game is so much different now, you know, and seeing it now. But back then it was if I'm going in the bullpen, I'm going for the duration, and along with my other relief players. So we had to grind a different way. And baseball's changed, and I understand that, and you know, the game's gonna get better and better as we go on. So that was fun.
got another question back there. All right, in the front row.
When the Mets reacquired you in 2000, and then they traded you for Joe McEwen, were you disappointed that you weren't going to get another chance to return to them, especially in the time when they were going very good and they actually made it to the World Series that year?
That's a great question.
Um,
Yeah, in 2000 when you were re-signed by the Mets, but then you wound up getting traded instead. Did you feel that? Were you looking forward to playing for the Mets again, coming back home a little? You know.
Well, that's all I knew at that time. It was just the Mets, and so you know, I knew there was other things, you know, that I had gone through as far as you know, who I had to play with, but it's always been here.
Yeah, yeah. Any other questions? We got some over here.
One over here.
Oh, I'm sorry, I lost you.
I'm gonna get my cardio.
Good steps today.
Hey Jesse, now we know you pitched a long time, so you were into your 40s. In light of Philip Rivers coming back, we know we need bullpen help. Did you give us a couple games next year?
I'm ready
Well, you play a lot of golf, right?
every day.
Every day. All right, so he's keeping it. He looks great. Looks better than me. Jeez. Got me by 10 years. Let's see.
Hey Jesse, first of all, I haven't answered the home field question.
Where's that at?
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
There.
They were switching off every year, east-west, and it was actually the Mets, the East years to host, have home field advantage, but the Oilers had a game. And that's why they had to switch home field.
Ah.
I didn't know that.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Thank you.
Yeah, but my question is about 86. I always hear you guys post-script talk about how you knew you had to win Game 6, that Scott was coming in Game 7. And I understand how great Scott was. I was watching. But maybe I was a naive kid at the time, but I always believed that the Mets were going to win a Game 7 anyway against Mike Scott. And kind of similarly, in the World Series, we had Clemens going in Game 6 down 3-2, and we pulled it out. So was there any talk in the dugout, or was it just a feeling like we had to win Game 6? And do you really think that coming out for Game 7, if it was a Game 7, that it was done?
Well, you know, as far as Mike Scott, it was in everybody's mind on our team that what the guy had done, and so we just had to overcome that. And I remember us at one point in the dugout just saying, you know what, we know that would happen. He says, don't give up right now. This is what it's all about right now. And so we played right through it.
Great question. Yeah. I feel like that team would have what you guys would have not cared about whoever you played. You would take on anybody, right? It was that kind of thing. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hey Jesse, you remember that game against the Reds in July? You got put in right field. They had Roger McDowell and you switched between pitcher and right field. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was a wild game. You know, switching over Roger and myself, and Davey had us go into the bullpen. I mean, he had us go to outfield, and we were like little kids. Roger and I were saying, "This is great," and you know, it worked out pretty good. But that's because of Davey. Dave's got things on his mind all the time. He's ready to go. He decided, we used to be in the outfield, Roger and I, and, just to practice out there. And then lo and behold, sometime Dave decided he got us in the game, and we, Roger and I ended up, pitching in that game. That was great.
And you guys you were kind of platooning as closers in '86.
Yeah.
But McDowell he was such an over the top personality. What was it like being in the bullpen with him?
Oh my God. The guy was incredible. I mean, nothing bothered him. And he was a great pitcher. But he really had the team on their toes. He liked to
Practical jokes or
practical jokes.
yeah, the hot foot and everything.
The hot foot, all these things. You couldn't keep up with this guy, and so he was fun. That was fun to have a guy like that, and kind of generate some stuff. So that was great.
Got another question out there? Or? There we go.
Hi, Jess. I wanted to know if you ever got your glove back.
Sure did.
You still have it.
I don't. But what I did do is I gave it to the police officer in action. And
Stephen McDonald, right?
Stephen McDonald.
Yeah, you guys know the story, Stephen
I
McDonald.
gave that to him, and thank you. I appreciate that.
I can't think of a better place it could have wound up. Stephen was something.
Yeah. So his daughter has been taking care of that. So I think I felt good. Some people say, "Why did you do that, man?" I was like, "Hey, you know what? It was in my heart to do this, and it helped the family out for as long as they could." But now he has passed away. But his daughter's there to present anything for him.
First of all, Hernandez played, Gary Carter was on the third baseman then. And then Keith Hernandez play, you're talking about Gary Carter was on third base. You traded for Jerry Cooper, the only two guys to be on the mound in the Mets won the World Series. And how would like being traded for coming to the Mets? And my other question is, you're hitting the World Series. Who did you try then? Because you got knocked behind that play.
I think it might have been. Am I crazy? Was it Strawberry? I think it might have because he had gotten on base, or Strawberry hit a home run, right? Yeah. That's a good question. I could Google it. Who wants to Google it? I should have known that. I did my research. I missed one, Jesse. Sorry about that. But that was pretty cool, right? You got the butt sign on that, but then he switched it up and said hit.
Yeah.
Swing away. That's a good one. And we got some more questions out there from the folks.
Thank you for doing this, Jesse. Who's a reliever you like to watch today?
The reliever?
Yeah, that you like to watch today, that is exciting or reminds you of you?
Mm-hmm.
Don't say Edwin Diaz.
I know.
It still hurts. I'm kidding. I mean, or any pitchers out there who you enjoy watching, I'm guessing you probably prefer the lefties or being a lefty or.
I don't know. I just never thought about that.
Yeah.
Well, the guy with the Dodgers now,
Oh yeah. Blake Snell? Yeah, there's a couple of guys.
there's some guys. I'm kind of lost on that.
Well, what's funny? I was actually reading that when you were in high school and you were pitching, that you really weren't you didn't go to that many Dodgers games. You really weren't that big. You were more concerned about playing as opposed to watching Major League Baseball at that time.
Yeah, I was into baseball, but just kind of played for fun.
Yeah.
And until time changed and family helped out and did things, but it took a while until I decided to
Ask him who his
find out
favorite
what I want
lefty
to do.
golfer is. Who's your favorite lefty?
Well, Jesse, listen, I want to say thank you so much from all of us for doing this.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Certainly, when Keith said to me, Roger, do you want to interview Jesse Orosco? I said, yes, thank you. So thank you to Keith and everybody here at the convention. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Orosco.